Hi everybody, welcome back to Cass Book Nook. Today is August 5th. This is going to be my weekly wrap-up video. I will do a monthly wrap-up video, but I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. July was a really horrible reading month, especially there at the end of it. August has definitely started off on a better note. I got through 7 books this week, currently reading 2. I got 7 new books this week. I didn't return or DNF any. And I am on a library ban, meaning any book that was not put on hold on July 31st or before July 31st, I am not able to pick up until September 1st. So I have to read all of the books on my TBR, maybe some on my shelf. I am getting rid of that entire shelf this summer before the end of the month. So if you can see the titles, you'll know what author it is. If you can't, I will tell you guys in an unhaul video that I will do at the end of the month. Ray actually started reading this one right here. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but she started reading the first book in this entire series, and she even said, I didn't realize how much sex was in this book. Like I tried to tell you, it's Smut Central. We don't need it anymore because I feel like I'm blushing at this point because Anyway, so this month started off really, very strong. Just fantastic books. So let me just tell you guys about some of the books. I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I read this in a day. I don't even think it took me a total of 3 hours to get through. It's 205 pages. It is definitely a book that I would recommend anyone who has gone through a very difficult situation as far as death goes. If I was 13, I was Connor's age when my mom died. So coming at it from Connor's perspective, I know how this goes. Nobody says it's okay to deal with it. This book does. And just reading through it and figuring out that there are truths that sometimes you do have to face, and it was good. It was good. Thank you for that book, because that definitely made my Friday. I needed that. Audiobook that I finished this week that was also very good, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest by Stieg Larsson. I found this to be a great wrap-up, and to me, this book wraps up the entire trilogy without having to go into any continuation, any novel. Just, this is it. Elizabeth gets her revenge. The court system realizes that they have screwed up. Yes, this is a one-person case, but it kind of makes me think that maybe they'll start thinking, oh, well, maybe this is a bigger issue than just this one person, and because it was so publicized, maybe they took a stand for other women that were in similar situations to Elizabeth in this one. But this is pretty much just about the court case and the fallout of what happens at the end of book 2. And yeah, I just thought this was a really good wrap up and end of trilogy. I'm not interested in continuing the series. If you have, would love to hear your thoughts on them, but I'm not going to. So the book that I was reading last night was How to Walk Away by Katherine Center. I was trying to do a 24 and 48 hour readathon, but things this weekend happened. Like, I forgot that I had to go mow my mother-in-law's friend's yard this morning, and then yesterday I ended up delivering packages, so I didn't get a whole lot of reading time in. Forget what else we ended up doing yesterday, but anyway, so that kind of got canned. But I did read this one. This is a book about a woman who, she has it all. She's got the perfect life, she's got the perfect fiance, in the first chapter, you know something's gonna happen. You know that there's gonna be an issue. Because her fiance is a dick. Just flat out, he's a dick. He may have had the best of intentions starting off, but he definitely didn't have them by the middle of this book. It does showcase how quickly things can fall apart. We have this perfect life figured out for ourselves. We know what we want out of life, but one major thing can throw our entire life plans off. That was what this book was about. I liked it. I thought the epilogue at the end of it really rounded this book out. The issue that I had with this book, and the reason I didn't rate it higher than what I did, because I only gave this book 4 stars, is the ex-fiance who, faced with the situation and the guilt that he should have had because he screwed up, and he screwed up big time, man, and her mom. If her mom would have been honest with everybody 3 years ago, or even when the situation happened, it may not have fallen out the way that it did. And I think her mom coming to her own realization that things aren't always what they seem really helped her mom chill out. I started off not liking her mom. Like, I wanted her mom to go away. Just go away. And by the end of the book, the way that they'd come together as a family, it was totally believable. Like, she really did her research on this book. So congratulations. This book was great. Trying to see what else I had on my table that I really, really enjoyed. Oh, book's not on my table, so let's go over to my phone real fast. The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. I did have this book physically. I returned it already because I couldn't keep it anymore. Very well done. You did see it coming, though. I will say that. You did see it coming. It was definitely a strong 3.5, 4 stars. No, I put this down as a 5-star, 4.5. There we go. It wasn't as, like, the romance wasn't as blatant as what some other books are, but it was very well done. And then the Bookshop of Yesterdays, which you guys can't really see, by Amy Meyerson. Fantastic. I did peg it at the beginning of the first chapter, though. I knew what was going to happen, and I knew why it was going to happen. I had a theory. I passed it on to Ray. I'm like, this is what's going to happen in this book, and it did. I didn't necessarily see the guy that she was with, being as much of a douche as he was. Like, this guy was a dick. He was just a douche. He was just horrible. Like, totally self-absorbed. Didn't give a crap about anything that was going on in her life. Just total... Sorry. But yeah, it was very good. Yeah, just really good. And then another really good series wrap-up that I got to this week was Still Me by Jojo Moyes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the last book in this trilogy. I didn't think it needed to go beyond Me Before You. And I had some issues with Me Before You. I had some issues with After You. And with Still Me, I had some problems with it. But it was... I don't want to say honest, because it wasn't as honest as it could have been. But it did give... It was a good story. It was a good story, which is why I read it. Trying to see what else was on my list that I got through this week that I'm not talking about. One book that isn't coming up on here is Animal Farm by George Orwell. That book... Okay, so if you guys have read George Orwell, 1984, Animal Farm, anything like that, the way he wrote the books you feel they're real. With Animal Farm, you could see from get-go what the problems were that were going to come up, because it sort of parallels what's going on now with culture in general. I don't want to say culture in general, because it's not culture in general. It's a group of people. If you take a group of people who are oppressed and you give them a speaker, but the speaker only wants to actually promote their race and their background and the people that are like them, and they don't care about the other people, any of the other people, it's very on par with some of the situations that people may find themselves in life, where you've got the control group who are all about, you know, semi-transparency. I feel like I can do an entire video just on Animal Farm alone, so I think I might. I'm gonna end it with I finished it. It was a good, it was like 3-hour audiobook. So if you've got 3 hours or less, if you pick up the physical copy, go for it. It makes you think, and that is something that a lot of books that I'd picked up lately hadn't done. And it's interesting to see the perspective of someone who wrote that book in the I want to say it was 1937 when that book came out, and how in 2018 that book is still relevant today. It was really good. And then the last book that I got to was Renegades. So I actually got through 8 books this week. Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I liked this book, but it's definitely not my favorite. The ending, what? Just, what? So, the end of this book, the last page, made me want to throw it across the room. The last page! This is 552 pages of awesomeness. I really enjoyed the story. Yes, it was a little slow, but the last page! The last page just... Can't wait for the next one to come out, though. I will be picking it up. Alright, so on to currently reading. Currently reading, we have Lost Voices, Callie. Yes, thank you. Lost Voices by Sarah Porter. This is about a young woman whose father leaves her with her uncle in Alaska. At least that's as far into it as I've gotten as far as the audiobook goes. Physically, what I'm currently reading right now, Whichwood by Taheri Mafi. This is the second book in the Furthermore duology. I think it's a duology. Alice and Oliver have shown up. I am on page 35. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but should hopefully be an easy read and I can finish it today. Alright, new stuff. Okay, remember the library ban that I put myself on? Well, 4 new library books. Physical books. Mislaid, I want to say was in one of Ray's reading emails that she got. This is about a gay woman, a lesbian woman, and a gay male in like the 1960s, 1960s Virginia. So, kind of they're navigating the world. I'm hoping to get to this book this week, because it is rather short. Then we have Hunted by Meagan Spooner. This is supposed to be a twist on Beauty and the Beast. Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. This is a twist on the Civil War by, forget what the actual twist is, but the cover is really pretty. So, hopefully this is pretty good too. I actually haven't heard anything about it. It came up on a coming out in 2018. And it's a new book, but I haven't heard anybody talk about it yet. So once I get done with that, I might do a review on it. We'll see. And then The Lost Sisterhood by Anne Fortier. This is a Goodreads to be read shelf book that I keep trying to pick up on audio, and I never listen to it. So speaking of audiobooks, new audiobooks, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. It just happened to be available after I finished Animal Farm. Hunting Ground by Patricia Briggs. This is the second book in the Alpha and Omega series. And Unshakable by Tony Robbins. Your financial freedom playbook, creating peace of mind in a world of volatility. I kind of need that. Oh, I forgot one book. Hold on one second. Sorry, speaking of Tony Robbins, Getting Back to Happy by Mark and Angel. I'm not really sure how you say their last name, but these are the guys that created the 50 questions to free your mind. And they're the Mark and Angel Hack Life. Great blog. They're still active on their blog. Go check them out. If you Google their names right there, or if you Google Mark and Angel Hack Life, they pop up. They're the first Google search you'll find. But Getting Back to Happy, it's not necessarily getting to your happy place, but it's moving you in the direction of figuring out what that is. So hopefully after everything that happened last month, this will help. So that was definitely longer than what I wanted to talk to you guys today about stuff for. So hope you guys had a great week. Talk to you guys here when I do my monthly wrap up video. Bye.